The big catch. Reuben had never gone fishing without Grandpa before. At the Boy Scout fishing derby, no adults could help. The Scout masters weighed the fish, took down the measurements, and took a picture for proof. Then fish were released back into the lake. On the judges' table, 2 trophies gleamed like golden beacons. There was a prize for catching the biggest fish and a prize for catching the most fish. The competitors baited their hooks. Reuben had splurged on live crawfish. At $2 each, his purchase had eaten up all of his savings. But Reuben believed it was worth it. There is no better catfish magnet than crawfish. At least that's what Reuben had read on the internet. Plus, he had the fancy new reel that Grandpa had just bought him for his birthday. Reuben felt sure it would give him the Midas touch when it came to fishing, except he hoped to catch more than puny goldfish. "Hey, Troy, has anyone ever won both trophies?" Reuben asked the senior scout next to him. "Nope." Troy's fishing reel looked shabby, and it had duct tape on it. Reuben couldn't see what Troy was using as bait, but it smelled like a sweat sock that had stepped in something you wouldn't want to eat. "Do you fish much?" "I fish all the time," said Reuben. "Sometimes?" said Troy. "Want some chewing gum?" "No thanks," said Reuben. "Start fishing," said the scoutmaster. The hot sun peeked out of the clouds. Reuben had only had 2 nibbles in an hour, but neither had stayed on his hook as he tried to reel them in. He had heard splashing and shouts of joy from other scouts along the lake's edge. Someone was catching something, just not him. "I once caught a catfish as fierce as a wildcat," Reuben told Troy. "I swear it growled at me." Said Troy. He was pulling in something, very slowly. Reuben put a fresh crawfish on his hook. "One time with Grandpa, I caught 39 fish in a single day." Troy's eyes and attention were glued on his own line. 59 fish? Maybe more. I lost count. All I know is our cooler was heavier than an elephant stuck in cement. Reuben cast his line back out into the lake. "I'm a fishing wizard." Troy reached for his net. "Got a little something there, do you?" asked Reuben. "Your line is wiggling," said Troy, pointing to the lake. Sure enough, Reuben had a bite. "I knew it! Crawfish! Works like magic!" Reuben began frantically reeling in his catch. "This is going to be a monster!" he shouted. "Feels like I'm pulling in a whale!" Scouts turned to look his way. "It's giving me a fight." Reuben pulled hard. "But I'm not losing tug-of-war to some fish." There was some splashing around Troy, but Reuben focused on his own line. He could hear applause as he pulled his fish out of the water. "Must be feisty for its size," said the scoutmaster, coming up behind Reuben. "Good-sized perch, maybe 8 inches long." Reuben looked over his fish with pride. Then he saw the fish Troy was holding up for the scoutmaster to examine. It was an enormous catfish, as big as the small shark Grandpa had caught in the ocean. "That will be the biggest catch of the day, I'm thinking," said the scoutmaster. "Now that's a monster. What did you use for bait?" "Bubble gum and moldy cheese," said Troy. "Have you ever seen such a big catfish, Reuben?" the scoutmaster asked. For once, Reuben said nothing at all. Troy's catfish had stolen his tongue.